Your news for the state of Tennessee in about 10 minutes. Tennessee in 10 starts now.
Thanks so much for joining us for Tennessee in 10. I'm Marius Payton. Republican leaders want to crack down on illegal immigration in Tennessee during the state legislative session. They announced several new bills that would force cities, law enforcement, and judges to cooperate with ICE by reporting undocumented immigrants. One bill would block undocumented kids from attending public schools. Another would make it a crime to be in Tennessee if you have a final deportation order. Other measures would require state and local agencies to verify immigration status before issuing licenses and public benefits. Republican leaders say they're working to cooperate with the Trump administration, but Democrats call that a shame.
If you're here legally and lawfully, then we have things that we can help you with. If you're here illegally and you broke the law to get here, then unfortunately, Tennessee's not going to be a state where you can get sanctuary.
It's hate-filled legislation, and it's a distraction technique from their own failures. These people have blown up our state budget, driven us off the fiscal cliff. They think affordability is a hoax.
Now, when asked, House Speaker Cameron Sexton said he didn't have a tab for how much these new bills would cost, but said right now there would be savings, claiming that undocumented immigrants in Tennessee cost the state about $1 billion a year. That's a figure that Democrats say is made up without any figures to support it. And it's only been 2 days since the application window opened for Tennessee's school voucher program, and there's already overwhelming interest. More than 50,000 applications have already been submitted. That's for both new applicants and renewals. Last year, more than 42,000 applications were submitted. 20,000 vouchers are available on a first-come, first-served basis. They provide about $7,000 in in-state money to students to help pay for private school. Melanie, you're here to talk about the weather and the cold start to the day.
Yeah, cold start to the day right now, and we're going to see rain showers a little bit later tonight. Let's take a look here as we go throughout the day today. A couple of you back into West Tennessee will start to see showers a little bit earlier, but everyone around this morning time frame is going to start off pretty dry. Notice clouds are moving in out near Memphis right around mid-morning, and then early afternoon. Again, some of you in West Tennessee and closer into Middle Tennessee could see a few little showers starting to pick up. This rain becomes a little bit more widespread through Middle Tennessee and Nashville around dinner time. It's going to continue to push off to the east as we go throughout the evening. Kind of a more defined line of that rain ahead of a cold front that's moving in. Now notice here it's going to push off into East Tennessee as we go into tonight, and temperatures will be dropping. As I mentioned, it's all ahead of a cold front, so when those temperatures start to fall to around freezing, we are going to be looking at seeing some of those turn into a couple of lingering snow showers out near Knoxville.
The Pigeon Forge Police Department has told us they have fired one of their officers after an internal investigation. They say this is for violating the department's code of conduct for communication that he has had with an underage girl. What we're learning is that the investigation centers around Patrol Officer David Stinnett. Pigeon Forge Police telling us in August they found out Patrol Officer David Stinnett was in communication with an underage girl that he had met while on duty. He was then placed on administrative leave with pay as the investigation unfolded, and the TBI led that investigation. A grand jury did decline to indict Stinnett after the DA's office presented its findings, but after an internal investigation by the Pigeon Forge Police Department, Stinnett was fired for violating their code of conduct.
A man facing charges after investigators say he sexually assaulted a teenager he met through Snapchat. 32-year-old Breon Collins here is charged with aggravated rape and kidnapping. Investigators say they found Collins and a 13-year-old girl in a car, both unclothed. After officers tried to arrest Collins on an outstanding warrant, he drove off with the girl inside. The girl, who was found later, told investigators she and Collins had been talking through the app, and he found her through the app's location feature. Collins now in the Shelby County Jail on bond of $200,000. Another man also behind bars on rape, kidnapping, and burglary charges, accused of attacking a woman at the apartment complex he worked. This happened at the Trinity Lakes Apartments in Cordova. Investigators say Sean Byers forced his way into the woman's home while wearing a mask. He also forced her to drive to a nearby liquor store. They say after the attack, he took off his mask and fell asleep, which allowed the woman to recognize Byers and escape.
A new report ranks Tennessee as the third most dangerous state to drive in. The report reviewed federal data over the last 5 years. Nearly 6,000 deadly crashes reported statewide. Insurance company iSelect found roughly 65% were on highways, with most crashes happening on I-40 in Middle Tennessee, I-75 in East, and I-240 in West Tennessee. Advocates say safety changes need to happen.
It is definitely hard to drive in Nashville. Our infrastructure definitely needs a lot of work. It's very hostile for, pedestrians and cyclists especially.
Among the top contributing factors for crashes were weather and speed. So when those roads are wet or fog, it makes it hard to see. You got to be extra careful out there. And weather contributed to this huge crash on I-40 in Putnam County. THP says 20 to 30 vehicles were involved. The TBI says a special agent was one of the people hurt in that massive crash.
Well, a man is accused of firing shots at officers during a standoff in the Cosby community of Cott County. The Cott County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to Cantons Grove Road yesterday. They found Mark Benson inside of a tent. When deputies approached him, they say he fired a shot. While negotiating, officers say Benson kept threatening to shoot them. SWAT members throwing flashbangs and fired gas inside the tent to bring him out, but he kept firing shots. Benson was eventually taken into custody and is facing felony charges today.
And you can see fewer delays at the airport, and it all has to do with the change that would recognize Nashville as a major hub. In 5 years, Nashville's airport has seen over 130% increase in daily passengers. But to keep up with that growth, things need to change. Nashville's airspace is Class Charlie, and a new proposal is exploring the idea of Class Bravo increase. That means a larger airspace to monitor for air traffic controllers, which can give them a big picture view of how many planes are on their way in and out. And this could mean fewer problems at the gate for you.
It's really just increasing the size of the airspace above us that Nashville Tower is controlling. And that makes it more efficient for them and for separation of the aircraft and to bring them in more on time and all that, less delays.
And in this proposal, leaders say the FAA looks at flight paths and noise, which could help limit the noise pollution you may be dealing with in your own community.
You can buy tickets today for the Memphis in May World Championship Barbecue Cooking Contest. Organizers will host the event at Liberty Park starting May 13th. Earlier this week, the competing Smoke Slam barbecue competition canceled its event. Smoke Slam suggested a potential partnership with the World Championship contest. Organizers say they're still talking.
Another honor rolling in for one of East Tennessee and really the country's favorite. Governor Bill Lee announcing that Monday will be Dolly Parton Day in Tennessee. That's January 19th, 2026. It is to honor the country music icon's 80th birthday. The proclamation recognizes Parton's life, legacy, and contributions to Tennessee as the state's and Tennessee's favorite daughter. Now, the proclamation highlights Parton's commitment to service and philanthropy. Through the Dollywood Foundation, the Imagination Library, she's helped provide hundreds of millions of free books to children around the world. Now, the proclamation encourages all Tennesseans to join in celebrating Parton's contributions to the state and so far beyond. Last September, Dolly postponed her Las Vegas residency citing health challenges. The Grand Ole Opry will be holding a show to celebrate Dolly's music Saturday. However, Parton saying in a social media post that she would not be in attendance, but added that she'll be sending everyone her love. Again, Monday, January the 19th is Dolly Parton Day in Tennessee.
And today is the day Dolly Parton is set to release a new rendition of her song, Light of a Clear Blue Morning. The rendition features Lainey Wilson, Miley Cyrus, Queen Latifah, and Reba McEntire. Dolly says proceeds from the recording and music video will benefit Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. Well, thanks so much for watching Tennessee in 10. Enjoy your weekend.